So then, Season 9 with Esbjerg begins. It is guaranteed to be another European adventure. You've probably already spotted, we are not in the Champions League anymore. It's because we drew Ajax. We'll get to that in just a minute. We have done 3 transfers. That is all we have brought into the club. We've also managed to get rid of a lot of players. Let's talk about the players who have joined the club first, because it's going to be the quickest. We finally managed to get our man. Leffer Gordon was a player that I wanted to sign, I think in Season 7, when he turned up basically at Sundowns in Season 6, maybe Season 7. I spotted him and went, we need this man in our club. He's cost us £600,000. That is all he has cost us. And he is a Wonderkid. We have a literal Wonderkid playing for us. And I think he is superb. And there's still room to grow. There is still room to grow. He's 4.5-star current ability, potentially 5-star potential ability. Leffer Gordon, we need to make sure we never lose this man, because when he goes, that is going to be a massive gap to fill. Smashing our record transfer out of the water for £3.6 million is Cesar Preda, signed from FC Hermannstadt in, I want to say Germany, but it might not be. It's Romania. They sound like a German team. Apparently they're Romanian. He's come in £3.6 million. I asked the board to buy him because I didn't have the transfer budget, and they paid £3.6 million. This deal, by the way, almost scuppered the Leffer Gordon deal because we didn't have enough transfer budget. I managed to rejig some things, sold some clauses. Yes, some of the 50% sell-on clauses have now gone to get Leffer Gordon in. Cesar Preda needs to kind of do ridiculously well for us this season, because he may well have cost us millions of pounds in the future. If, I think, Collins Dladla, if you remember him, if he leaves Inter Milan for a big sum of money, we don't get 50% of that anymore. And finally, he sounds English, it's because he's part English, it's Jack Leonard. He is a Czech international right-winger, right-back and defence midfielder. Nice random selection, but he is also part English, apparently. I don't know why he's part English. He was born in the Czech Republic. He's just part English. He's got no family or friends who are English. But yeah, that is what we've got. Jack Leonard has come in. £61,000. He was out of contract. We had to pay a little bit of compensation. But I think we've got ourselves a very good right winger and a very good left winger and an absolutely ridiculous centre-back. Not only have we managed to bring in 3 players, we have shifted on quite a few players. Some of them you might question why we've done it. Luis Manso, a player who we never really played because he kept going out on loan, has made a permanent move to his native Portugal, signing for Rio Ave. This might be something that we regret because he's very good, he's very fast, got great finishing, but he was never good enough to play for us, so he's moved on. Cesar Gelabert was a tactical decision because he was earning too much money and only had a year left on his contract, so he cashed in. Not a lot of money we brought in for Gelabert. He did play quite a lot over the last couple of seasons, but I think with Preda, we don't need Gelabert anymore. Mamadou Gueye as well, much like Luis Manso, a player who should have probably been better for us than what he actually was. Never really got the chance in the first team to kind of make too much of an impact. Did score 2 league goals and 17 appearances. He's moved on, staying in Denmark, going to Lyngby for just £88,000. They've got themselves a bargain. And the big one in terms of money joining us is Nduka Jr. signing for Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, picking up that big Saudi money there. £1.2 million is what they paid for him. He was out of contract at the end of next season, or this season coming, in Season 9. So I thought, let's try and shift him on. I've got no plans on really playing him anymore, because basically we've got Leffer Gordon. Leffer Gordon and Darlin are going to be our 2 centre-backs, and Nduka Jr. therefore wasn't really needed. We have also loaned out another centre-back. Vladimir Lund Jensen has gone out on loan to Randers. Randers, by the way, who are currently top of the league, which is not ideal. Lund Jensen, much like Nduka Jr., wasn't planning on playing him, and he got kind of annoyed by that. So I went, you know what, off you go, mate. Randers have got an option to buy him on a permanent deal, or basically he comes back to us next season, and then we try and sell him for some cash. You can see as well, obviously on the right-hand side, a whole bunch of other loan deals going on. We've got Willemsen, Bonnieve, still not quite sure if that's his name, Mads Nielsen, Margalez, we've got Reisinger, Larsen, Lund Jensen, and Michael Jewell, apparently, who's just literally gone out on loan to some random team. He's going to be leaving in 6 months anyway. So yeah, that's our transfer business so far. The window isn't closed, but I'm not planning on doing anything. We've not got the money. We're over our wage budget. I'm desperately trying to lower that, but we keep giving people big contracts, and I'm 100% to blame for that. In terms of matches, we've had a very strange pre-season. We played 1 match, that was it. We won it 1-0. And then we went into the league winning 5-1 against Viborg. Denson Barnabas started up front, scoring twice. Darlin scoring twice as well. And Hossam Mossen scoring from right back. We then beat Ajax thanks to a 90-minute penalty from Leffer Gordon. Don't know why he's taken penalties. He's not very good at them. But we beat Ajax and then obviously lost the return leg because that's what we do in Europe. So we're into the Europa League at the moment. We are playing Maribor in today's episode. We won't play Randers. We'll just play Maribor. Doesn't really matter what happens in the preliminary phase of the Super League. And also, you can see there, we beat Nordsjælland and we drew 0-0 with AGF. Not ideal. That's already early drop points, which is why we're second. Still ahead of Copenhagen, but they will definitely catch up. So because of our relatively quiet summer transfer window, we are basically playing everyone that you kind of expect. Hindrich is in goal. Mossen, Leffer Gordon, the new signing, is in centre-back alongside Darlin. Pelamati is the left-back. Orlando, Colorado and Babu in that midfield triangle. Leonard is going to be on the right-hand side. Pete on the left. And Bartol Barisic leading the lines. We've got some injury problems. And by injuries, I mean fitness. Prada's been out injured. Schulman's been out injured. Barisic has actually been out injured, which is why Barnabas started the first game of the season. So, yeah, we're kind of not ideal at the moment, and everyone's on match load heavy. Do we do this? Let's do it. Let's give Denson a run out up front. The other option as a striker is Jan Lundsgaard, a player who joined us in the March youth intake, who is apparently going to be world class. That's what my scouts seem to think. So I've just bumped him up to the first team, and I'm retraining him as a striker because we don't play that attacking midfield position. And I think he could probably do that job relatively well. 13 composure, 11 finishing. He's probably better than Barnabas, isn't he? So up against NK Maribor of Slovenia. This is a match that we should be good enough to win. We obviously did very well in the Europa Conference League last season. I'd say Maribor are Europa Conference League material. Maybe not even getting out of the group material either. So we should, and I'm crossing my fingers here, we should be good enough to get past Maribor. Obviously, it's a two-legged affair. And what happens in two-legged affairs in Europe is normally we win the home leg and then lose the away leg 6-1. Colorado with a free kick. For us, it is cleared. Babu's going to keep this one alive, though. Crosses it in. Colorado, I thought he was just going to volley that. Darlin back to Mossen. Orlando now collects it. Back to Mossen again. Right-hand side is Nistor Babu. Needs to go across. Leonard's the man there. Can he cross it in? Can't manage it just yet. Back to Leffer Gordon. Down that right-hand side, the South African can cross it in. He's found Denson Barnabas, and Denson heads just wide. Denson Barnabas, I think he's 5'6". He shouldn't be winning headers. 20 minutes almost played. Nistor Babu again. Mossen on the right. Lots and lots of space for the Egyptian to run forward. Right-hand side is an option. Goes back instead to Gordon. Mossen to Gordon again. The two Africans combining. Forward finds Colorado. Orlando to Gordon. Colorado again. Down the right-hand side is Leonard. Mossen's going to run. Leonard needs to run into that space and does so. And Mossen finds him. The cross comes in. Denson Barnabas again with a headed effort. This time goes over. Mossen on the right again. We seem to be attacking this right-hand side. That's our kind of go-to area at the moment. And we're kind of getting some results. Obviously no goal yet. Colorado's ball over the top. Barnabas is going to get there first. And Denson Barnabas has his third goal of the season. And he makes it 1-0. Denson Barnabas, I can't reiterate this enough, is awful at football, but for some reason, he is doing the business for us. Is this the year that we sell Barisic? Let's just get rid of Barisic and we play Denson Barnabas up front, and he scores 50 goals like Barisic did last season. It's optimistic, but he's already got 3. Half-time, 1-0. The goal from the Micronesian is the only thing that separates the side. We're doing all right. I would like to have a second goal. Let's say midfielders, keep going. Denson, well done. Well done. I'm delighted in the final third. Keep going, lad. Get another. Score a hat-trick. Literally everything that Barnabas does would probably break some form of record at the moment. The first Micronesian to score a goal in the Europa League, in the Champions League, in Denmark, in European football. Because I don't think there are any other Micronesians in the world. I think he's the only one. Well, the second half has been uneventful. That's all we can really say. Leonard's going to come off. That's not what I wanted to click. Leonard's coming off. Kenneth Falster's going to come on. Falster, as a player we signed, loaned him out to Viborg. He's a right back by trade, but he can play as a right winger, so I think we'll stick him there for the moment. Orlando can come off as well for Hjulmand. What else do we want to do? Do we want to do Lundsgaard? Do we want to give Lundsgaard a run out? Maybe we'll keep Denson on for a bit. No, we won't. We'll do that. And then Denson can drop to be a winger. I mean, what we've done there is we've just ruined our entire front three. But that's fine. We're winning. It's against Maribor, a team that we should be able to beat, and in fact, we are beating. Final 5 minutes. As we enter it, we've got a throw. Schulman collects it, number 7. Mossen's ball forward. Lundsgaard is miles offside. He puts the ball in. It's a decent finish from the 16-year-old. This, by the way, is going to be, I think it's not his debut. He did play in the last match, but came off the bench. So, yeah, he's not played a lot of football because he's literally not been allowed to because he's a child. He has obviously scored, didn't count. We win 1-0. Probably should have been more than 1. But now we have to go back to Slovenia and hope that we don't balls this one up. Just to put it out there as well, obviously we came in to the Champions League qualifying rounds, we got knocked out, but in the Europa League we have Brøndby, are currently in the Europa League qualifiers. If we drop down in the Conference League, have we got anyone? We've got Randers and we've got AGF. And also in the Champions League we have our absolute nemesis Copenhagen, are 1 match away or 1 tie away from getting into the Champions League group stages. They got Sarajevo or Dynamo, which, if they get Sarajevo, I feel like we might have Copenhagen in the Champions League. We might get ourselves into the Europa League, and then we might have 2 teams also in the Europa Conference League. This could be massive for Denmark as a nation. The return leg then against Maribor, obviously over in Slovenia, and we've got a couple of injury problems that we need to keep an eye on. I say a couple, 1 really, and that is Leffer Gordon is currently injured. He's going to be back soon, but we're not going to risk him for this game unless we need to, which I don't think we really do. It's going to be Hindrich in goal, Mossen, Ekwala, Darlan and Pelamati in defence. Ekwala is not very good, but neither is Denson Barnabas, so I'm hoping for something magical here. Ekwala is a player who we signed a long time ago from, I believe, Coton Sport. We did sign him from Coton Sport. He spent a lot of time out on loan at various clubs, and I think he should get good. He just doesn't get the chance, so we're going to give him a chance as a centre-back partnering Darlan. It's going to be Orlando Colorado and Schulman in midfield. Pete, Preda and Barisic leading the lines for this one. We have just come off the back of a 6-2 victory against Randers, the team that were currently top of the table. Barisic scoring a hat-trick. Pete also getting himself 3 assists in that one. So we have got some goals. We've started scoring some goals, which is very good to see. I have just realised I've not fixed my corners. So away legs in Europe are not our friends. So can we just not balls this up this time? It's not too much to ask, is it? Pete, corner comes in. Ekwala's hit the bar. The young Cameroonian centre-back's first real chance in the first team, and he almost scores. He has played before in the first team, but it's literally like twice, and I think most of the times that he's played have been in cup competitions. Joseph is going to get there first, and Evans-Joseph makes it 1-0 to Maribor. Why are we so bad in matches in Europe away from home? I am playing Ekwala, who isn't very good. I feel like it's harsh to put him down to a 6.4, because that's not the side of the pitch he was on. It is. It might have been his fault. Pelamati with a throw in a very strange position. It's fallen for Pete. He's got a second bite of the apple. It is going to be a corner. Pete's the man to go over to take it. Ekwala's at the front post. Darlan also loitering, which is what we want to see. Ekwala's there, doesn't get on the end of it. And now Maribor can counter-attack. This is the worry with the corners, because obviously I put 2 centre-backs on the front post. Maybe I don't have enough players defending from the corners. I don't like the look of that match momentum graph either. We are literally dominating them, and we've not scored and they've scored. I mean, we've just hit the bar there. I'm not even sure who that was. Was it Barisic? Not even sure. We are 1-0 down. They've had 1 shot on target and scored it. I mean, you've been unlucky. I'm going to say you've been unlucky. I'm going to say to Ekwala in particular, you've not been good. Keep going. You've got the ability to make the difference. That's a really odd thing to specifically say to your new centre-back. I also just told the 3 front players that you've got the ability to make the difference, and you know that one, the kind of want you to be encouraged to try and do something better in the second half, and they all took that well. So I'm hoping this second half we're going to come out the gates nice and quick, get ourselves an early equaliser. We do need to kind of win, even if we go through. I would rather go through with a victory and not with a draw, because coefficient points are better when you win, basically. Mossen's cross comes in, Barisic, headed effort, goes over the bar. The second half is going just as exciting as the first half by the looks of it. We're having lots of shots, not doing much at all. We're going to bring on Malik Amir, a player who you might remember as well. We've had him since the start of the save, maybe season 1. He came in through the youth intake. I've kept him around. I don't think he's great, but I've kept him around because basically he's homegrown. and he helps with our registrations. Wasn't expecting him to play. We're going to do Pete coming off as well for Leonard. We're doing. I can't believe I'm taking off our 50 goal a season striker for a Micronesian. Goal kick for Maribor over the halfway line. We get the ball through Moss, and Orlando's not paying enough attention to get that though. And now Maribor can come forward. Barnabas should be chasing that down. He's taken a sweet time to do it though. Mossen's going to get there first. What are you going to do, buddy? Back to Hindrich. Forward. Darlin. Left-hand side is Pelamati. We do use him. Down the line we've got Preda. Preda the Romanian. Hjulmand. He's gone for a run. He's lost the ball. You've lost the ball, Hjulmand. And now Maribor can come forward. If they get a second, it's not game over. They've almost got a second through Pelamati. Pelamati gets the ball back as well. What are we doing there? We do need to have this goal. We do need to find this equalising goal. If we go through on a draw, I know I said earlier I want to win. If we go through on a draw, I'll take it. We're doing absolutely nothing. Their goalkeeper, despite the fact we've got XG of 1.2, isn't needing to save anything because all of our shots are just awful by the looks of it. Joseph, ball forward to Vipotnik, maybe, could be his name, goes off to the left-hand side. Joseph collects it, the goal scorer. Minor, ball forward, Zinic is going for goal. He's hit the post. He's hit the post. It's going to be a corner for Maribor. And it's going to be Joseph to take it. Evans Joseph. I know his name because it's nice and easy to pronounce. What are you going to do? Are we doing anything? Is the goalkeeper coming up? What's happening? Joseph's corner comes in. Hindrich comes out, claims that. Was that the highlight? Why did we waste our time with that corner? Right then. We've made it to extra time. I don't know how we've not won this game. I don't know how we've not scored. We've been the better team by a country mile. Thrash Arms, I'm far from pleased. It did seem to fire people up. We've got plenty of subs. We've only done 3. And we can do 3 more subs. Problem is we don't really have the players. Preda hasn't played well. Carniero can come on the left-hand side. We'll do that one. Barnabas is having a bit of a shocker as well. But, do we do that? Barnabas has come on and then come off again. He's on a 6-4. We are going to do that, I think. I think we've got one more change to make, which we're not doing that one. We're doing that one. I'm all for a fairy tale. I want a fairy tale. I want Lundsgaard, that's his name. I want Lundsgaard to score the winning goal. That'll be nice. Probably should have looked at fitness. Schulman's just ready for bed. Darlin's ready for bed. Pelamati's ready for bed. We got to do Hjulmand. Surely there's the one we need to do. We're going to swap you two round. And, that's it. That's all of our subs. That is all of our subs. We just need to get that goal. Amir to Colorado. Back to Darlin. Across to Malik Amir. Ball forward to Leonard. Plays it over the top. Carniero's there. It's a superb save from the keeper. We win a corner. Carniero's the man to go over. 2 centre-backs at the front post. Malik Amir is one. Darlin is the other. It's cleared. Markovic keeps it alive. Carniero tries to get some space. In fact, he was offside. What a clown. Half-time and extra time. It is still 1-0 to Maribor. Our XG is pushing 2 now at this point. I feel like we're going to lose this. We're going to get knocked out of this part of Europe and drop down into the Europa Conference League. Maribor still with the ball then on the right-hand side. Crosses it into the middle. We need to nick this ball, and we do. Colorado and Carniero combining. Colorado across to Pelamati. Lundsgaard's making a run. The little 16-year-old. Pelamati once again. Lundsgaard's in here. He's half the size of that centre-back. Markovic gets some space for himself. And Markovic is blazed that wide. We are pushing the 120-minute mark. The time is ticking away. We've had 8 shots on target. 24 shots in total. And it comes down to penalties. Oh, this is not what we want. Relax, pick your spot. Don't change your mind. Come on. Right, we've got a good goalkeeper. Hindrich is a good goalkeeper. He's gone the wrong way. Lundsgaard is up first because, annoyingly, he's our best penalty taker with 11. Lundsgaard then steps up and the youngster, cool, calm and collected into the bottom corner. Maribor next up then. We can't see what's happened. Hindrich has saved it. Apparently that's what he's done. I think it went straight down the middle. Markovic now. Can Milos Markovic put this ball in the back of the net? He's gone into the same corner that Lundsgaard did. Makes it 2-1. Lipushek is up next. That's probably not his name. He blasts it into that corner as well. Most people putting it in that corner. Orlando Meyer, who lost his surname, but he's going to be the superstar here. Once again into the bottom corner. It is 3-2. If we save this, we're not necessarily through, but if we save this, we're in a very good position. Meyer steps up again into that bottom corner. We need to score, Jack. We need to score, Jack. Where are you going to put it? Where are you going to put it, buddy? Bottom left is probably where you're going to go. He's gone bottom left again. Hindrich now has to save it. I say has to. He doesn't have to save it. If he saves it, it takes the pressure off everybody else because we're through. If he doesn't save it, we need to go down to our 5th penalty. It's straight down the middle. Hindrich probably should have saved that. The decider then is Carniero. I don't think he's very good at penalties. None of our team are very good at penalties, but Carniero is the man to step up and take this to put us into the Europa League next qualifying round. He's straight down the middle, you clown. Come on, Hindrich. Come on, Hindrich. Hindrich has done it again. Otto Hindrich has made a second save for us. We are back in the lead, technically. Pelomati next up. The Italian and I think part Russian left-back that we signed from Arsenal on a free transfer on too much money a week. Pelomati then, left-footed. Where is it going to go? He's going to put it into the opposite corner. We have beaten Maribor on penalties, and we are through to the next qualifying round of the Europa League. I think we've got one more to go, and then we'll be in the Europa League, which means I think we are now into Europe guaranteed. I thought we were before, but maybe we've got one more game to play. I now have no idea. I mean, I'm going to say well done. I should have said that was a let-off. So the frustrating thing there, obviously, is we didn't pick up the coefficient points for winning that match. We lost the match, so those coefficient points go to Slovenia. We don't get those, but we obviously won overall. It looks like Copenhagen are going to be playing Dynamo in their Champions League qualifying game. And are we in? No, we are not. We have Dynamo Kiev. We have Dynamo Kiev in the Europa League playoff final. If we win that, we go into the Europa League. Any other Danish teams there? Brøndby have Tobio from Kazakhstan. Brøndby are surely through that one. Surely Brøndby are through. So we're in the playoff, which is there. If we get through, we're in the league phase. We might have 2 Danish sides in the Europa League. We might have a Danish side in the Champions League. How are we looking for the Europa Conference League? I'm looking for the Denmark flag. We have got Randers versus Hajduk Split. We've got AGF versus Hapoel Tel Aviv. So I think, again, 2 matches that could definitely be won. And I think, let me just double check, 4th qualifying round, which is there. If they win, they are through to the league phase as well. We could have 4 Danish teams playing in Europe this season. That's big. But that is going to do it for this episode. Next episode, we are once again playing some European football. This time it is going to be Dynamo Kiev. We are away from home first, then at home. And why not? Let's chuck it in for fun, shall we? We'll play Copenhagen in the next one. Thank you very much for watching episode 1 of season 9. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and you're enjoying. And I'll be back next time with hopefully qualification to the Europa League.